So today we are talking about ferromagnetic materials, wherein we will be discussing about the features of ferromagnetic material. We all know that ferromagnetic materials are the substances which are of immense importance for practical applications of magnetic materials, and in that sequence the first feature of ferromagnetic materials, if we talk, when placed in external magnetic field, the substances which get strongly magnetized in a direction of applied field, those are called as ferromagnetic materials. So the first feature of ferromagnetic materials can be the substance which when placed in external magnetic field gets strongly magnetized in the field direction is called ferromagnetic material. And the popular examples of ferromagnetic material, those are nickel, iron, etc. These are the materials which are getting strongly magnetized in the field direction. At the same time, these are acquiring magnetism on permanent basis. That means once the substance gets magnetized and you remove the external magnetic field, the magnetization of the substance will not vanish. The substance will retain the magnetization. So ferromagnetic substances are mainly meant to fabricate the permanent magnets, because they acquire strong magnetism in the field direction, they acquire magnetism on permanent basis. So these are the ferromagnetic materials. Talking about the next feature of ferromagnetic material, once this substance it gets magnetized, it pulls the magnetic field lines into it and it keeps those magnetic field lines with it. That means if we have to verify this property, what we can do, we can take a shell which is a ring-like structure made up of ferromagnetic material, and when this shell is placed in external magnetic field, it is seen that magnetic field lines are mainly concentrated into the shell instead of penetrating into the cavity. That means what we can say, the shell of ferromagnetic material, it conducts magnetic flux just like conductors conduct electricity. So this is the second feature of ferromagnetic material, that they are good conductors of magnetic flux. And the next property of ferromagnetic materials, here I have already drawn, it is that the magnetization of ferromagnetic materials, that means when the substance is placed in external magnetic field, naturally it starts getting magnetized, and magnetization of ferromagnetic materials, it is very complex non-linear function of applied field strength. Just like diamagnetic or paramagnetic, it is not varying, it is not getting regulated in a linear manner, but it is a very complex non-linear function of applied field. Starting from O, initially the magnetization or magnetic induction of substance, it increases linearly with the applied field, then its increase slows down, then very rapidly increasing, it goes to a saturation value beyond which the magnetization becomes practically independent of H. That means after saturation magnetization, after this value, suppose you increase the strength of applied magnetic field to any extent and the acquired magnetization is not going to increase, because it has acquired the saturation value and here it has become practically independent of applied magnetic field. So this is very important and interesting property of ferromagnetic materials, that magnetization of ferromagnetic substances, it is a very complex non-linear function of applied magnetic field. Why we are saying it is very complex and non-linear? Because there is no mathematical equation, there is no mathematical relation which can govern the behavior, which can describe the behavior of magnetic material into external magnetic field. That is why it is a non-linear complex function of applied magnetic field. This is the third property of ferromagnetic materials, that its magnetization is a very complex non-linear function of applied magnetic field. Then in the same diagram, next property we can discuss कि because its magnetization is a non-linear complex function, the value of relative permeability is not also same. Naturally, the susceptibility is also different. So ferromagnetic substances, they are not having any fixed value of susceptibility. If we want to find out susceptibility or permeability, then it is to be done in terms like this. If you draw a tangential to the lower curve of this magnetization, then you get the initial value of permeability. If you draw a tangent to the upper curve, you get a maximum value of permeability. So, if required in any situation, the permeabilities of ferromagnetic materials are defined this way. And the most important feature I forgot to talk about, which we should have done before this situation also, that is because ferromagnetic substances are getting strongly magnetized in presence of external magnetic field, and they are getting magnetized in a direction coinciding with the applied magnetic field. That means they are having a very high value of susceptibility. So susceptibility of ferromagnetic material, we can say chi ferro, it is positive, very high. It is of the order of 10 to the power plus 6. It is that high. So susceptibility of ferromagnetic materials is positive. It is very high, and it is of the order of 10 to the power 6. Naturally, relative permeability, which is 1 plus chi m, value of relative permeability for ferromagnetic materials is also very high. It is commonly the relative permeability of the order of few thousands is observed in ferromagnetic substances. So these are also the features of ferromagnetic materials, having very high value, positive and high value of what? Susceptibility. Then relative permeabilities of the order of few thousands are also common in ferromagnetic substances. So these are the 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 features of ferromagnetic materials. In short, I will revise it before we go for next features. The first feature of ferromagnetic substances is that these are the substances which, when placed in external magnetic field, get strongly magnetized in the field direction. And the popular examples are nickel and iron. Okay. These materials are mainly used, they are mainly meant for fabrication of permanent magnets. Because they are getting strongly magnetized, they are having very high and positive value of susceptibility. Susceptibilities of the order of 10 to the power 6 are commonly observed in ferromagnetic materials. Then relative permeabilities of the order of few thousands are also common in ferromagnetic substances, because they get very strong magnetization and they can be very easily magnetized. The next feature is कि ferromagnetic material, once when it is magnetized and when placed in external magnetic field, it attracts, it pulls the magnetic field lines into it. And if we have to verify this property, then we are taking a shell of ferromagnetic material placed in external magnetic field. It is seen that the flux or magnetic field lines, they are mainly concentrated into the shell without penetrating into this air cavity. What that indicates that these ferromagnetic materials, they are acting as magnetic shield. That means if we have the region like in radio station or TV station, if we have certain region wherein we don't want magnetic field lines to reach, then that region can be shielded, that region can be covered by using a sheet of ferromagnetic material so that it is protected, because even if some magnetic flux is reaching to that region, that will be constrained within the material and it will not be getting into that region directly. So ferromagnetic substance, it acts as conductor for magnetic flux. It conducts magnetic flux just like conductors conduct electricity. This is one feature of ferromagnetic materials. Then coming to next feature of ferromagnetic materials, it is that magnetization of ferromagnetic materials as shown in the graph. This is the AO graph, in which you can see on x-axis we have applied field strength, that is H, strength of applied magnetic field, and magnetization or magnetic induction on y-axis. So it is seen that the magnetization of ferromagnetic substances, it is a non-linear complex function of applied magnetic field. It is very complex, it is non-linear because the behavior is mysterious. It cannot be expressed by any mathematical equation. That is why it is called complex. Okay. So initially the magnetization increases, then its increase slows down here. Again rapidly it is increasing, and after certain point it acquires a value which is called as saturation magnetization. Beyond this saturation magnetization, magnetization of ferromagnetic material, it becomes practically independent of applied magnetic field. So this is the most interesting and what you can say slightly different feature of ferromagnetic materials. The next feature in the same graph we will discuss, because magnetization is non-linear complex function, the permeability of ferromagnetic substances, it is also having different values. You cannot have one value of permeability of ferromagnetic materials. So in certain situations wherein you require to find out the permeability, it is found out this way. You can see the dotted line, it is the tangent drawn to the lower curve of this magnetization curve, lower portion of this magnetization curve, and this tangent gives you the value of initial permeability. If you draw a tangent to the upper portion of this magnetization curve, you will get a value of maximum permeability. So these are the features of ferromagnetic materials. Coming to few next features, I would like to tell you that ferromagnetic properties of substance, they are revealed, they are manifested, they are shown, they are reflected only when the substance is in crystalline form. So ferromagnetic materials, they exist only in crystalline form, and by any chance if a ferromagnetic material is converted from solid to liquid form, it loses its ferromagnetic properties and it behaves as paramagnetic substance. So this is also one feature of ferromagnetic materials, that the ferromagnetic properties of the substance are manifested only when the substance is in crystalline form, and that also below certain temperature which is called as Curie temperature. We will come to that point, but before that, hoping that you understand these properties of ferromagnetic substances, we will proceed for the further properties. And the next property, I don't know the numbers, so I am putting this star. The next property we can talk about. Initially I will draw the graph. Ferromagnetic properties of the substance, they depend upon the direction of magnetization acquired by the substance. So within a ferromagnetic substance, there are many crystallographic axes along which the substance can get magnetized. Depending upon those directions, the properties of that particular substance, those are defined. And in a ferromagnetic substance, suppose you can see in the graph, this is field of that is strength of applied magnetic field, and that is magnetization or magnetic induction. Okay. Now on the first graph you can see that for a lower value of given field, suppose this is your H dash, the magnetization acquired along this direction is maximum. At the same time, magnetization acquired along this direction is less compared to maximum. Okay. So that way, this direction along which the magnetization acquired is maximum for a given value of field, it is called as direction of easy magnetization. Whereas the direction along which the acquired magnetization is lower for the same value of given field, it is called as direction of hard magnetization. Along both the directions, the substance can acquire saturation magnetization, but it is just like if you are going to your place, you are going to your home, then you can go by main road, or maybe you have certain shortcuts to go to your home. So when you go by shortcut, you will what you can say, you will require less efforts, you will require less time, and you will reach your destination. So it is also same situation ki within the ferromagnetic substance you have certain crystallographic axis along which the magnetization can be readily acquired, and the direction along which the acquired magnetization is maximum for given value of applied field, it is called as direction of easy magnetization. Whereas for the same value of applied field, the acquired magnetization is less, it is called as direction of hard magnetization. So this is also property of ferromagnetic material. The properties in certain substance, if the acquired magnetization is along this direction, then it will show different properties. If it has acquired magnetization along this direction, it will show different properties. Okay. So properties, they depend upon the direction of magnetization acquired. This is important feature of ferromagnetic substances. And again, one more highlighting feature of these ferromagnetic substances is that this is your absolute 0 minus 273 K 0 below certain minus temperature. Magnetic induction. This situation we have drawn to talk about the important feature of ferromagnetic material, which is called as Curie temperature. And according to this concept, the substance behaves as ferromagnetic material when its temperature is below certain temperature, and above that temperature the substance behaves as paramagnetic material. So the temperature at which this transition of substance from ferromagnetic to paramagnetic happens, this is called as Curie temperature. You can see when the substance is in its pure form, this is pure iron, pure Fe. Okay, the absolute zero temperature or below that, the magnetization is maximum. As you go on increasing the temperature, you can see gradually the magnetization starts dropping, and at certain value of temperature it suddenly drops to zero. The temperature at which magnetization of substance suddenly drops to zero, this is called as transition temperature. It is also called as Curie temperature. Okay, above which the substance, above this temperature, the ferromagnetic substance will behave as paramagnetic substance, and it's a reversible phenomenon. That means if you lower the temperature of substance below Tc, again it will show properties of ferromagnetic material. Change the temperature above Tc, it will behave as paramagnetic. Below Tc as ferromagnetic. Okay, and this is the oxide of ferrous oxide. You can see the same situation is drawn. So it is about the feature of ferromagnetic materials that at absolute zero temperature, the magnetization of ferromagnetic materials is maximum. But as you go on increasing the temperature of substance, gradually the magnetization or magnetic induction starts dropping, and suddenly at certain temperature it drops to zero. That temperature is called Curie temperature. It is also called as transition temperature, and it is indicated by capital T suffix C. This phenomenon is a reversible phenomenon. If you lower the temperature below Curie temperature, substance acquires the properties of ferromagnetic. If you increase the temperature above Curie temperature, substance acquires the properties of paramagnetic. So this is the feature of ferromagnetic material, and the very last feature, very important feature of ferromagnetic materials are being explaining now. It is even very interesting feature. This feature is called BH curve. Now you know what is B. B is magnetic induction, H is applied magnetic field strength. So the next point you can put in the title. It is a BH curve. It is also referred as hysteresis loop or hysteresis curve. What this BH curve is, how we can explain this, that we will do once when we draw the BH curve or hysteresis loop. H on x-axis and B on y-axis. Also show the arrows that will indicate the direction of magnetization and demagnetization. This is nonlinear complex function of applied magnetic field that we have just seen. Draw the curve like this: OA, AC, CD, DE, EF, FG, and GA. it is strength of applied magnetic field H on x-axis, and accordingly whatever variation is happening in magnetic induction or magnetization, that is B on y-axis. So this variation of magnetic induction with variation of H, it is called as BH curve, and this BH curve is also popularly referred as hysteresis loop. This is the most interesting property of ferromagnetic materials, that is called as BH curve. And BH curve, if you look carefully at the curve, stop drawing and look here. This BH curve, it may be defined as the lag, LAG, lag is to lag behind. It is defined as the lag in magnetization or demagnetization of the sample with variation in applied magnetic field. Simply I will tell you in simple words, when you place your sample in external magnetic field at say O, and you start increasing the strength of field along positive x direction. Okay. Accordingly, what happens in a nonlinear complex manner, your sample is magnetized. Okay. Now, what is expected? If you want to demagnetize this sample, you should decrease the strength of magnetic field, and the sample should come back along AO. It has gone to saturation along OA, so it should come back along AO. But that is not happening in case of ferromagnetic substance. That is why we are saying BH curve, it is defined as the lag of magnetization or demagnetization behind the variation in applied magnetic field H. म्हणजे H vary केल्यानंतर how much your things are following the same, whatever they have done in positive direction, in the reverse direction they are doing. That is not happening. Some lag is there, and that lag is described in the diagram. Now carefully look at the diagram, focus on the diagram only. When we start increasing the strength of applied magnetic field along positive x direction, what happens? Along OA, the ferromagnetic sample is acquiring saturation magnetization, that is in a non-linear complex manner, it is going to saturation value. Now beyond this saturation value, we have already seen that practically now this magnetization becomes independent of H. Even if you keep on increasing your H, it will remain at saturation value only. So what we are doing, now we will decrease the strength of applied field, and it is expected that the sample, the magnetization should reverse along AO. But that is not happening. The sample is taking different path to demagnetize. The path is different than the path it has taken to magnetize. It is going by different path to demagnetize. It is starting to demagnetize along AC. And at point C, look at the curve carefully. At point C, where value of H, how much it is? 0. Applied field value is H at point C, but still magnetization is not 0. Some magnetic induction is still present in the sample. That magnetic induction, that is called as residual magnetization, and that is indicated by BR. BR is residual magnetization. Now to remove this magnetization which has been there in the sample even for 0 value of applied field, what we do? We increase the field in opposite direction. Applied field value we are increasing in opposite direction, and we will see as we increase H in negative direction, the sample keeps on losing its magnetization, and it keeps on losing its magnetization along CD, and at point D, B becomes 0. D, what are the coordinates of D? X coordinate is X minus HC, Y coordinate is 0. That means now the magnetization or magnetic induction is completely removed. This value of applied field which is required to remove the residual magnetization, it is called as critical magnetic field minus Hc, or it is also called as coercivity. Coercivity, C-O-E-R-C-I-V-I-T-Y. Coercivity is the additional field required to correct the situation. Okay. So at this point minus Hc, where Br becomes 0, if we keep on increasing the strength of magnetic field in negative direction only, what will happen? The sample will start getting magnetized from point D, and it will magnetize to its saturation value along DE. At point E, again practically it becomes independent of value of minus H. So if we reverse that H, if we decrease the negative applied magnetic field, sample will very gradually keep on losing its magnetization along EF, and at point F, where the value of applied field is 0, still some residual magnetization is existing there, that is indicated by minus Br. To remove this minus Br, again we will increase the value of applied magnetic field in positive direction. Sample will lose magnetization along Fg, and at point G, B will become 0. At point G, value of H is plus Hc. So this is the positive coercivity, which is the critical magnetic field which is required to remove the residual magnetization. Okay, and if you increase further the field, the sample will start getting magnetized from point G only, and it will go to saturation magnetization along GA. So basically this hysteresis loop, it is a BH curve or hysteresis loop of a virgin sample. The sample which is never before exposed to magnetic field, first time it is being exposed, so it will show this type of graph. But the magnetic property of substance, it may also depend upon hysteresis loop, the behavior, it may depend upon the number of times your sample is exposed to external magnetic field. And this curve is called as BH curve, popularly referred as hysteresis loop, which is the most important property of ferromagnetic substances, and it is defined as the lag in magnetization, demagnetization of the sample behind the variation in magnetic field, that is H. So this is about the properties of ferromagnetic materials. Have you understood those?